Hello everyone, this is Paula. I have been gone for a while and I'm back today for the fall season. I love the crisp, cool air in the mornings, and it's still kind of warm here in Oklahoma, but it's trying to push its way into fall, which today is, I couldn't tell you what today is. I don't have the date in front of me, but anyway, I know it is definitely fall. So, what I've got today to share with you guys is fall journals. I'm made two already, and these are two of them. I will do a flip through of each of these journals or once they're done, but I want to decorate number 3. Now, this is more sunflowers and pumpkins, and it's the whole fall vibe also. So I'm going to set these other two. I'm sorry, my phone wobbled just a little bit. I'm going to set these other two to the side and let you know that they're all going to be decorated the same. They all have this tie on the side, and they've all been decorated with some dimension on top. Now, I'm going to try to straighten my camera up. I'm sorry. Might take just a second. It acts like it wants to come forward. We can't have it do that. This one also has a tie. On the back, it has these sunflowers that are kind of wonky, which I love. All of these books are 2 signatures, and all of them have fabric covers. And they all have 2 signatures, like I just said. They are, I'll give you the exact dimensions when I do the flip through on these books, but I'm going to kind of give you an idea here real quick. We've got all kinds of fall goodness, and I use extra signature paper, extra tea stain paper in my journals this time because a lot of people want to actually journal. I did decorate several pages, and this journal, all 3 journals, will come with a packet of scrap papers and a few other things. So I'm going to get started, and hopefully this won't take us very long. There's no guarantee. I'm going to try to be less than an hour, but you know how that goes. It's not always the easiest thing. So I'm going to just start out. I pre-inked everything, got everything cut out, but just so it wouldn't be such a confusing mess for the video. I'm going to put this string behind it so it's not distracting on both sides. And this one says Happy Fall, has a wood veneer that's yellow, kind of a muted yellow. Okay, so we probably won't on video get everything onto the book because, well, there's a lot that goes into the book. But we'll do what we can today, and then I'll do the flip through of these 3 books in a second video. And that's when the books will be posted, when I do that second video. Okay? All right. So the first things first is I am going to make one of these pockets. I've made these before, and I went to a retreat over the weekend, and I met this really nice lady who has a channel who also makes these, so I thought in honor of her, I would make one of these. I don't have her name on the tip of my tongue, but I will link it below. So if you want to go to her channel and give her some love, that would be awesome. So I'm going to set this book to the side for a second while we put this together. Now, this is basically just a piece of tea stain paper, and it starts off as a square. I'm going to take this one. I don't know if I have one that's, oh, I don't. Let me grab some paper. Sorry about that. It won't take me but a second. Sorry about that. You just take a piece of tea stain paper and we're going to make it into this cute little pocket. So the way we do this is you're going to start off, you know, you want to just try to get everything straight on it that you can. In other words, fold it as straight as you can to end up with good results. Now, do I measure? No, there's no measuring with this. It's pretty simple. Just line it up on your craft mat. That's what I do. And I just pull it down about 1.5 inches. And then I just, that's it. And then I come over here on this other side, line it up a little bit on my mat. Fold this in about the same amount. And just try to get it straight as you can. Now, they don't always come out perfect. That's okay. We're not looking for that to happen. So you're going to open this out, and then you're going to turn your paper around here. You got your two bent areas or folded areas right here. And so you're going to open it out, and almost to the crease here, you're going to fold this. Going to be just, you know, 1/8 of an inch off of the fold, 1/4 of the inch, however you want to do it. And then you're going to end up, you know, this is going to be folded, this is going to be folded. Then you've got this that's folded right here. Now, we want to open it out, and we want to remember that we need it to be folded up one more time. So, I'm going to fold it up to about 1/2 inch from the top and crease it really well. And now is when we do a little bit of cutting. We're going to cut this. We've got this little square up here. Let's go ahead and cut that little square out first, because we're not going to use that. You can just trash the little square. And yeah. You know how it is when fall comes along and you're so ready. I always want to make journals. I always want to do anything where I can mess around with fall items. Everything I'm using today just is coming out of my stash. I did use a digital, but it's by Artie Mays is all I can tell you. It's not much. There's not much of a digital, just so you know. Okay, so we've creased that so we can fold this up and can fold this up, okay? But now what I want to do is trim on this line here. We're going to cut it straight up also where the fold is, up to the fold line, just like that. Now, this is going to be like just like a little envelope kind of look. You can do whatever you want with it. And then I'm just going to come in here and, you know, kind of cut it small little bit of angle right there. And that'll give you this kind of look here. And then over here is going to end up being a pocket. So, you know, if you want them both sides to kind of be shaped the same, you can do both sides if you want. And you're just going to take your glue and run a little bit of, I'm using glitter glue and Fabri-Tac today, just so you know. And instead of punching a circle up here, I'm just going to do a little V shape because it's easier to do on video. Now you're going to fold this up, and this is going to give you a little pocket right here, okay? And it's going to end up being more like this, okay? And right here is the bottom part, which gives you that envelope look. And so what we're going to do is try to fix a, I don't know what happened to all my little, isn't it funny how you get all ready and then you can't find your stuff? Frustrating is what I call it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Started to say. So, I'm taking this little circle. You could take other items as she said on her video. Sorry I wasn't prepared and had her name ready for you. She's a super nice lady. She has a little bit of a different twist on how she makes her journals, and that's what makes it fun to watch a lot of different people. So I'm doing that so it will hold it shut. See? Right here. Now, we're not done yet because we still have this to contend with. So, you got this. Oops, you know what? I just realized I folded that down too soon. I closed that pocket too soon. This has to come over in here first, okay? I'm going to slightly trim this a little bit more so it doesn't run into the envelope portion. I just totally glued that down before I did the other part. Don't ask me where my head is today. Okay, so we're going to do like this. And you're going to end up, this is going to be the pocket, and then this is going to be the flap at the top. What I did was, a lot of people leave this on, but I didn't. I trim this inside portion off up to the creases of the folds, and then did this. Now, this is coffee stained paper, so, or tea stained, and you don't want to try to use a punch with this paper because it won't work. It will all crumble up. But I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do with these corners. Basically, I'll just show you now. We're just going to curve them. Just curve them. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, it looks nicer if you do, but we are, after all, making a junk journal. So now we're going to take this and glue it down. Some people glue the whole thing down and be done with it. I just glue down the right side and across the bottom. That way, if I want to put something in that pocket up at the top, I can. Now, just depends on what you're going for. There you go. Because see, now I have a pocket here too. But I'm going to go back and glue this little pocket back on, since glad I caught it before it wouldn't let loose to correct it. Okay, so now you have your little pocket right here. And you have a little pocket right here. And you have a little envelope here. Excuse my voice. I may have to take a drink ever so often. I've kind of been under the weather. Okay, now this folds back up here. And you just want to make sure everything looks square, you know, as square as it can. Like that. Okay. And then what you're going to do here is do another one of those little circles to help you hold your flap down. Now, I just do the very bottom, right here, across the bottom. I want this rest to be free. You don't want to go real close to the top. It will be impossible to get it open. You kind of just want to have it barely below that area so you can just slip it out real simply. And you'll see here that that's what I've done here. Okay, now this is going to close it up. Now, when I glue mine down onto the book, I also just glue like this. You can glue the whole thing and not have another pocket behind the flap, or you can do it like this and have a pocket there. Now, I want to cover this. I got that a little tall, so I'm gonna trim that down and hope that I can do it straight. I'm terrible with scissors. getting things straight. I'm great with a trimmer. You know how that is, right? And then I'm just going to ink that edge. I've already inked everything. I think it looks better when you do a journal if you ink. Now, this is going to be a pocket right here. You don't have to have this as a pocket, but you can. And this can actually be punched, okay? So just take a little circle, and I don't make them gigantic. There was a time I did, but now I just do them like this. And glue that down here. And it's kind of cool looking because you got that little closure there. And I'm just trying to... This is strong glue, just so you know. Glitter glue is not a baby. That's for sure. So you're going to put this down here. Just like that. And I made this little tag. Just a simple little tag to put here at the top. Now what I'm going to do is cut off some of this squirrel ribbon that I've got laid here on my desk. And just make sure you fix it where the squirrel is upright. So I'm just going to go like this. Make him be the topper. And I'm going to use my tiny attacher by Tim Holtz. You can get these just about everywhere if you don't already have one. I don't know what I would do without mine because I like texture. And that's what this is giving you, is texture. Now, this will be closed once this dries. And you can just slip this down into there. Now, if you want it shorter than this, you can cut it shorter. Kind of like it coming over the top because you can notice the little squirrel there. Now, we're going to take that out for a second and open this back up. We've got our pocket. That's one place to put something. We've got our envelope here. You can decide what you want to put in there. I'm not making anything to go in this envelope. I think it's to each their own. I am going to take a little tag, a small little tag. You can cut it out of cardstock, whatever you want. And then it's going to go right in here. Now, I am trying to think what I had decided I wanted to do on this particular one. I know I had something laid out, but that's besides the point, I guess. Let me get something here. Just going to put something on here that's fall. We're just decorating it up a little bit. It's already got a tie top, so we're not going to worry about that. And this is going to be our little tag for the inside. Just like that. Now, up here, we're going to also put a tag, but it's going to be a smaller type tab. You don't need one that's super big. I'm trying to find my stack of goodness over here, and I don't know where I set it now. That's crazy. Give me a second. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. I've had this stuff all over my desk, so you can understand why it's easy to be confused by that. Okay, so we've got this. We're going to close it up, but we're going to make a little tag for inside here. And I thought I had one already to go in there, but I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't. So we'll just ink this one up. We're just going to put some ink around the edges. And you can decorate it with anything you want. I'll probably find the tag as I dig through my stack of things to make for this book. I'm not going to show you everything because I don't have time to do that. You know, the videos are already long enough. I try not to do them too long, but you really can't do anything in less than an hour. So you can just fast forward to the parts that you enjoy the most. Now, I'm just going to take this little piece of fabric right here, our leftover scraps, and I'm just going to put it at the top here. I like to do the toppers like this a lot. I tie them, but I also do a lot of stapling because I like the texture, as I said before. I hope all of you are doing great. I've been super busy. Just really don't ask me what I have been doing because I really don't know. But I have a little extra piece of a fall item here. And it's been inked already. And it's a log with a bunch of leaves around it. And I just think it's really sweet. So we're going to add that on here. And just get all your nooks and crannies that can cause it to stick up around the edges. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that here. You know, when you do this type of tag, you can do just about anything to decorate it. And that's what really makes it nice. Now, I had here's my little adhesive eraser. Yeah, that's the thing about Fabri-Tac is real thin. It's like water-based, and it does have a tendency to leak out the sides a little bit. So if this is too tall here, you'll need to trim it down with your trimmer, and I think this one is going to be. So let me grab my trimmer right here. And we're going to trim it down about a ½ inch or a little more if you need it. Okay, let me move that. Now you're going to see that this will go down into here. And it makes a really cute little tag. Okay, now I did get it a little high, so I'm going to have to trim it some more. But instead of getting my trimmer, I'm just going to do this and hope that I get it straight. I usually do. And this is the thing, again, it is a junk journal, so not everything has to be perfect. Now we're going to go down in here. I want it to go down in here just enough that we can still fold it over. See, but you have your little fabric tab to let the recipient know that there is a tag in there. Now, here is your little pocket. Now we're going to do, we've made this one for the front, and we decided it was a little tall, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it down to, while we're trimming, and okay, my nose is itching, must be gonna have company, that's what we used to say. So there you go, this is how it ends up looking, and it's fun. And again, I'll link the person I saw do it recently. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I do have it written down. Very nice lady. Okay, so now we've got this ready to go in our book. Now, where did we put this? Where do I want to put this, I guess is what I should say. And I have, I've been kind of putting everything wherever. I've been matching them up, just doing them identical. So let me get to that in my book. Probably should go in order of my book. That would help, right? Give me 1 second. I know I put it kind of toward the back. Yes, it's in toward the back of the book. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? So she is right in here. Is where I end up putting it. I'm trying to remember. So we're going to do it right here. Now again, I'm using my fabric tack for this part. You can go across the whole thing, or you can just go down the sides. You know how your glue is in the morning, it has to wake up also, just like we do. So you want enough on there that it holds it on, especially if you're not going to, if you're going to leave it for a pocket. I'm not making a tag for this particular pocket. I kind of put things toward the outside because the book, I don't want the binding to be, have a lot of pressure on it. So I always put big items like this one that go in the journals to the side. Now, for some reason, I feel glue. So you never want to leave a page where you feel glue. I must have had some on my hand, or it seeped out. Who knows? But again, you could have a pocket back here as well. All right. Page 1 done. So we're going to start at the beginning. I think that's the best way to do for me to keep up with this book. So the next thing we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to put the pen back in my glitter glue, my glitter glue, so that it doesn't dry up. You know, it has a tendency to do that. It's a real bummer. So on the inside of the front of the cover, I always do a library card. Now, where's it at in my stack of goodness here? I don't know. We're going to find it. I didn't put these in order. Sorry, guys. All right. I don't think I did anyway. I just kind of stacked everything. There it is. Okay. So you have your little library card and the pocket here. I used fabric along the way the best I could. So when I could use fabric, I did. Okay, so right here is some fabric, and what I'm going to do is just put some glue here down the front, where you want to make sure wherever you glue, your fabric can cover up the glue. That's the thing, is I'm not sure how far in to go, so I'm going to take it right there, and I'm just going to center it up the best I can, and then I can always add glue. You don't want to put too much, you don't want to put too little. So that's going to give it a cute little vibe. And you can go around and add anything around the edges if you think it needs more. I didn't get up close to the edges, but it didn't hurt to, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not going to do a lot of fiddly stuff because as time is leaving us as we speak. It's already 28 minutes into our video. It's like, where does the time go, right? I just make sure there's no glue. Now on here, I'm going to take some washi tape and put across the top. Now what I did is I just put a little tiny strip of glue across there, because you cannot count on these washi tapes to stay long term. But if you glue them, they're not going anywhere, right? Unless your glue does something weird. And I just lined it up across that line right there. That's right above where it says title. And then I trim this off. I don't fold it around. You just saw me fold it around, and that's what reminded me that I haven't been folding it around. That way the back won't be unfinished. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to glue this pocket down on the inside of the front of the book. This is a library pocket. You can get them on Amazon, a lot of your Etsy shops. I don't support anyone any one of them. So, you know, I use everybody. I like to help everybody out. Okay, so we're going to go right here. And luckily, we have these little squares that we can match up to here. And then we're going to put that right in there. And I got this old playing card, and I liked the way it looked. So I'm putting it right there. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I do want to show you the scarecrow that I decoupaged on to my tea stain paper. I think it turned out so cool, and I'm going to do that more often. I haven't done it a lot in all my books, but yeah. Now I'm going to find the next page that we're going to decorate, which is going to be right in here. Let me keep going till I find the particular page I'm looking for. Hopefully every book is arranged the same. It's right in here. Right there. Now on here, we're going to do a pocket. So just take one of your pockets. We'll just take this one. And you're going to cut out, I do a 4 1/4 by 3 1/2 tall. It's 3 1/2 tall, 4 1/4 wide. It depends really on the width of your page that you're dealing with. So you want to put it on each side, and I'm going to center it right here the best I can. And you just press down those 3 sides. Make sure there's no glue seeping out on you. Now, I took this flower that just came out of 49 it's by 49 in Market. They have so many different pretty flowers. But I'm kind of putting some glue here on the back of it. So I want it to stick down. But I'm also going to put some here on the end of my twig. Here. And this is going to go in my pocket on the left side. All the way over. Now, you don't want to drag that glue all the way over. Just far enough that you still have room for a tag or something in there. This time I took old book pages and folded them, glued them, and then decided to make a tag out of them. I am going to trim this one a little bit. I think it's going to be a little long. So I'm going to trim it like that. Ink it where I cut it off. And on the top of this particular one, now I got to find my little tab that I pulled out for it. When I pulled it out of this stack, it did not pull out the tag with it. There is a little, spent all my time looking for things that I already put together. There it is. Right here is just your little orange tag. Now, on this one, I'm stapling too because I like that look. So, you're going to go up to the top here and you want to even it out. Line it up straight according to how straight your paper is. And then I did 3 tiny attacher. And you could put a title up here if you wanted to, or whatever. You could decorate the tag more if you wanted to. But that's how that ended up looking. And I just think it's adorable the way it turned out. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I'm trying to move along as fast as possible. This is by Tracy Fox. Tracy Fox has beautiful anything on her channel. She has beautiful digitals. It's Love Junk Journals is one of the names. And this was a digital, and it was laid out. I folded it all and folded it together, and you could see that the back's covered and the front's covered. Also decoupaged it, and then I decoupaged a thin tag, stitched around it, and put it down in here. Okay, so you can see that it's there. And I took this leftover fabric from this cover, and I just kind of wrapped it around up here. You could put a little bit of glue to hold it in place for you. Okay. It always helps if you can do that, because then you don't have to worry about it sliding down on you. Plus, it's easier to work with at this time. Now, I just kind of crisscrossed it like this and like this and trimmed it to the right length. I think it's too big like that, so I'm just going to, well, crud. Heads up, Mama Scissors. Threw me off. Okay. All right. Then you do the same thing over here. My scissors are not happy trimming fabric because they're dull. Okay, so now I'm going to fold that over and fold this over and put just a dab of glue behind it. Kind of make it like a bow, but it's really not a bow. It's just wrapped. You're going to go behind this bow, just put a little bit of glue to hold it down there. And it still looks crisscrossed by doing that. It doesn't want to cooperate very much with me. We'll try that again. How's that? I don't want it to be real flat, so I'm kind of bunching it up a little bit. Now I have this little sunflower charm, and I'm going to clip it right in the front where this is on a safety pin, but it's the type of safety pins you can put beads and charms and stuff on. See there at the bottom, it hangs down nicely. So now I'm going to find the page this goes on, which is just a few pages over, I believe. Yeah, right here. And then you're going to put the glue across the whole back. Now you are going to put glue on this fabric also. Want to make sure it sticks down for you. You could glue around the edges to get it to, my glue does not want to come out at a pace that I'm happy with. Have to squeeze it super hard. Sometimes Fabri-Tac can be a nightmare, can't it? I don't know about you guys, but it drives me crazy. So I just came off of a women's scrapbooking or retreat, and it was wonderful, which is where I met the YouTube lady that I'm going to introduce you to down below. Okay, here's this. You could put one of those little circle stoppers right here, but I just left it because I liked the way that looked. I want to make sure it's pressed down in the book. Again, you can get this particular pattern from Tracy Fox on Love Junk Journals on Etsy. Okay, now, let me see how much time we have. We got 39 minutes we've gone already. Can you believe that? Just seems like it just goes so fast. And the next page we're going to go to is going to be like a pocket page. Or you're going to use a little sack. And you're going to, I'm trying to see exactly where I put that. Okay. You're going to, I think it was over on, right in here. Yeah, right in here. So let's find what sack we've got going for us here. Oh, I see it right there. Here it is. I just love this little bag. Isn't it cute? It says, "Give thanks." It's the only one I have like this. So each of the bags are different in each book, but they do go along with the fall theme. Now, I'm going to leave it where if you choose to put something up there, you can. That way you can drop another tag in there or whatever you want. I'm going to slide this right here all the way to the bottom right corner. I don't like to put a lot in the spine. You know, I think it weakens your spine by doing that. And, I mean, I might be totally wrong, but I'm thinking this is what I had in here to start with. And trying to see where here's some right here. Some string. And I use different options. Like sometimes I tied string, sometimes I did ribbon, sometimes I did leftover fabric. It's to each their own. So with each of my fall kits this year, I am adding some scraps and extra goodies so you can continue to decorate if you want. I mean, I am making a journal, so I like to keep it where people can journal. But I do decorate pages depending on what you need. Now, I would add to this, and I think I'm going to. Let me find it here. Just got to find my little sunflower. I had this little pick, you know, light thing here. That's a sunflower. I'm going to glue this down. It's super warm in my room today for some reason. Okay. This old lady's getting hot in this room. Okay, so I glued the back, and I'm going to glue some down on the stem on the same side. And again, you're going to slide this down in here. I'm going to move my tag so it don't get glue on it. And you're just going to hold this up where you don't get glue on your bag any more than necessary. So there we go. This is why I had this thin little number check card, coat check card, I think that's what it is. Yeah, they don't do that anymore, do they? They don't check your card when you come to a restaurant or anything much anymore. At least not in the places I hang out. Okay, so there's that. The next thing is, and I'm going to hit the air. Give me 1 second. It's 71 in the room. Ooh, I had to move that down. It was really cool in here this morning. I don't know. It's like one day it's frosty, the next day it's not. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do again is a pocket. So I'm going to take a drink. I've been drinking orange juice because it has been that kind of sore throat. Excuse me. Now, let's go down. Across the bottom. I'm going to put another pocket right here toward the bottom. You want to make sure all the sides are down. You glue both sides and the bottom. Cut a little half moon punch at the top to indicate that it's a pocket. And now we're going to make a tag. Now, this time what I did as far as the tag goes is I just embellished it. I took a little bit of ribbon like this, which is satin, which goes right with the grungy. Goes right with that grungy look. No, you can do whatever you want in junk journals. There's no rules. Okay, do a double one there, and now that you've got this nice little topper. Now on here, I think I did a leaf on one of them earlier. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, no, that doesn't look good. That does not look good, but this little pumpkin does, and he's going to hang off a little bit, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm going to ink him up a little bit. It's another thing with junk journaling. It's okay if he hangs off the edge. You can do whatever you want. And I just think he looks cute. And, you know, most of the time, you're not going to be working or dealing with this sort of thing anyway. So you don't want to put any on the outside edges because that's going to, again, hang off your tag. And just try to keep it on there. Now, I'm going to do like this. There you go. Now you want to make sure it's stuck real good before you're done and that it's straight. The thing I like about Fabri-Tac, you can actually maneuver it around once it's glued down. And there we have our pocket. Now, you can put a decoration on here, which, I don't know. I don't think it needs it personally, but if we should decide to come back and add something, we can. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this really cool brown paper sack. It's made out of a brown paper sack. Has two of these little things that it wraps the little string around. If I can find which one comes out first. That's always fun. Can you believe this? Of course it's not going to be easy. I don't think any of them want to come off. So I'm just going to untwist them like that. That's the problem, is it wasn't put on there right. There we go. So I'm going to take it off to start with and get it on there correctly. And basically the top one is already glued down. So we're going to just trim that a little bit here so that it opens. And I inked this before I did anything with it. Basically, all I did was trim out on this fall paper this little set of pumpkins and leaves. Now, you can do you could do whatever you want down here. There's no, again, there's no rules. But yeah. Just get around the edges the best you can so it sticks. Doesn't pull up on you. Okay. Then you just hold it down. I hope I've been in the camera, you guys. I'm sorry if I haven't been. Shame on me. I forget that the camera, I have to go further back on my table to use the camera. And, yeah. So I'm going to lay my string over here on the side, and I'm just going to run some ink down it to kind of give it a dirty look. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. And it came off because these are not on here real securely. So what I recommend is that you put a little glue back here underneath the first one, not the second one. And you glue it all the way around here. Stick this up in there. Make sure it has a second to glue. And then I just kind of, once it's glued, I just kind of twist it around this one time is all I do. Now inside, we're going to take a tea stain journal card, our index card, and we're going to make it into a journaling card. Now, we're just going to add a little something here. Oh, I don't know. What do we want to put on here? Let's look. It has to be something flat. It doesn't need to be anything that is poofy because it won't go on your, it won't go in your pocket very well if you do that. So I'm trying to find something that might say fall. I'm not very lucky at this right now. So, that is a cute little pumpkin, isn't it? No, I'm afraid it will bend up, and I think that's cute enough. It needs to be somewhere more visible. That's just me talking, but I know I had a pack of ephemera here somewhere. There it is. We'll just pull out some of this. Now, this is leftover ephemera, so there is no telling what I'll find in here. But it is fall leftover ephemera, so we'll see. Now, Let me move this up here where you can see. This is what I've got to work with. Sorry, guys. Warm and cozy. I like this little frame. I always like little frames. I'm going to put it on first, okay? It's going to be part of it. I think frames are something people don't use enough of, myself included. I used to think, why did they put frames in there? You know, who wants to put a frame on their journal or their scrapbook page? But on scrapbook page, it's more understandable because you do have pictures. But on this, trying to get the glue off my finger, I'm just going to put it right in the center. Now, you could put a picture in there if you wanted. Maybe one of your favorite pictures. You could put a deer. I don't want to do that. I'm afraid his ears will end up getting... There's Home Sweet Home. Home. There's not a whole lot of choices here. Oh, I want to do the warm and cozy. Let's do the warm and cozy. I don't know about you, but that's what I think about when I think about fall, is the temperature and how cozy it makes it. I'm going to glue this down on here. If I get my glue to cooperate. Okay. All right, I'm just going to put it up here in one corner. You notice that I'm not putting it where the polka dots are. That's from the pan I tea stain this in. Because the reason I didn't is because, you know, I want you to be able to see the polka dots. Okay, now we're going to slide the index card decorated down inside this little pocket. Hopefully I cut it the right length, and I did. And you're just going to fold this down, and you know that you have a journaling card in there, and you just crisscross it, and that's it. Now, again, this is something that you could absolutely, got to find the page I'm supposed to be on. You could absolutely put it on. It's supposed to be a red page. Let's see if I can find just a red page in here. I don't think I have just a red page close by. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't put a red one. Maybe I put a yellow one in here instead. But let me look and make sure. Don't want to mess up my plan. There is not a red one in here. So, it should be the very next to the last here of this. Huh. That is so strange. I'll put it right here. All right, now, this one you have to put, you could do the top and leave it open, but I'm going to close it. Now, it depends on which journal you get, whether or not it's open or closed. I don't remember what I did with the previous ones. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to make a tag right now, so this should make it pretty easy. And this is pretty heavy, so I put it toward the very edge of the paper. And you might have to hold this down for a few minutes. Or when you close the page, it should glue. It wants to stick up right there. Okay, let me... So there you go. So that page is done. And now let's move over to the next page, which is basically, we're going to put in an envelope right here. And it did come out of the digital. It was a digital. And so we got to glue it shut here. Yeah. I'll get some of this glue off the tip of my bottle. Okay, you just put glue where it says put glue. On this particular digital. Again, the digital, it's not a big digital, but it is by Artie May. Artie Mays, not May. Then you just make sure it comes out even by keeping it trimmed where it looks like it should come out perfectly. We got a card here, and so we're going to put a little decoration on the front. And I'm thinking this would be cute. Now this is a piece of ephemera as far as autumn goes. Falling leaves, pumpkins, it's fall, y'all. You know, that kind of stuff. And again, I'm going to make sure it has plenty of... This came with like a little insert, but I use digitals, don't get me wrong. But when I can make something, I make it because I think it's more fun, it's more challenging. And I think the people who buy your journals will like it better. Open it to the right like a card, and then put this in the center. That way, you can slide it right into your book. Make sure this is straight. Sometimes it's not the easiest task in the world. Okay, now we're going to put our little envelope, our little card inside our envelope. We're going to clip this right here on the second signature's cover. We're going to get your paper clip right here. I've got a paper clip. Let me get my fingers working. And somewhere along here, somehow, someplace, there should be a little piece of fabric. And I think it must be this. I'm going to put it through. Here's how the paper clip needs to be. And then you just loop through the top here. Come out and up. And you're going to do it like this. You're going to do it like this. Now, some people glue this. Some people staple it, which would be me. And you just do it like that. And this way, you know, if you want to take it off, you can cut it off if you want to do something different. Now, I get down as close as I can. And I usually do it a couple times on there. I'm going to trim that a little shorter. Now, I put the card all the way to the top and put the clip up here because whenever you get ready to close your book, your tie is going to be right here. So when you're making a book, you want to think about that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, you see how much time we have. First, I'm going to find what we're doing next. We will do another pocket. We should have time to do just that pocket, and then we'll be finished because we've only got 2 minutes. So this book is basically just decorated however you want it. I'm trying to find the paper. The paper I wanted to put it next to is up here, but I don't think I like that, so we're going to put it in here. Let's put it right here. I like that. Now you're going to do your glue again across the bottom and on both ends to make a pocket. Just make sure you get up there so your pocket doesn't pop off. I put it right here. Make sure it's straight. Rub over it a few times. You want to make sure there's no glue. Now, we're going to make a tag. I had some leftover fall paper, and I just, let me get it here. I just took it and took some, because it had a back on it, I took some tea stain paper, and I'm gluing that on the back of my tags because you don't want something on the back of your tag that looks unfinished. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to look unfinished. Okay, so you're going to slide that on there. If there's any excess, you trim it off. It's pretty simple. I love this type of tag just because it's not just like cutting a piece of cardstock. It is actually got a picture type on the front. And then we're going to take this ribbon again and clip it at the top. I think it looks great with this color. How about you? What do you think? I bet you think the same thing. There we go. Oh, I don't like the way that is sticking up right there. But I don't want to add a third staple, so we're just not going to worry with it. I'm going to put this right here. Now, over on this pocket, you can find anything you want to put right here. I'm not seeing anything right off the top of my head that I just love. But I'm looking here on my desk because I feel like I put something out usually to do that. So let's see what these are. Okay. I have all kinds of goodies over here. You know what? Instead of that, I know that I have some sunflowers. And after all, this is a sunflower book, right? I don't want to bulky it up too much because it's already got quite a bit in it. It's already showing kind of an alligator mouth, if you know what I mean. And so I'm going to glue my little sunflower, if I can get it to glue down. I'm going to glue this one right here and hope that it doesn't stick to my finger like it just did. Yeah. And then do a second one. I kind of like to put some glue underneath these like that so they stay on under the little bead in the middle. You know, just a little bit of something. Some glue on the back side, and then just kind of shove them up next to each other. One to support the other. And they do still have glue on them, so you don't want to close this page up anytime soon. And that's okay because we're at a stopping point. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You know, I know I've been gone for a little while, and I'll just be honest, I can't do videos all the time. So just watch for them. When I can, I will. And I felt like doing it. I had time to do it. And I wanted to make some fall journals, and I knew you guys would enjoy them as much as me. So, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to do flip throughs in the next videos. This just has a few more things to add to it, pretty much like what you've been seeing. And, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, I'm repeating myself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.